Hi, welcome back to Smoking Cheltenham. Hope you're good. Back in conservatory again. Bit cold in here. Been knocking coffee back, so we'll see if I can get through this video without a brief interlude. I don't know. I'll do my best. Right, we'll kick off with... I've got to apologise for West Balboa. Specifically, we put her up 3 points win for the long walk hurdle. I've dropped the ball a bit. I got a bit confused. I should have done better. I had it in my head basically that the Relkeel hurdle was at that end of January Cheltenham meeting, but it's not. It's actually New Year's Day. So I'm sort of thinking, I remember Dan saying we're going long walk Relkeel. It's either or, not both. So I do feel bad about that. I do apologise. I should have looked into it better. So hands up for that. For the purposes of this, the bet stands. We don't have any cash outs or trading back. If you have actually backed it though, maybe you might want to sort of cash out or trade out if you can. I mean, I don't know. I'll just say it's a 50-50 thing which one she goes for. I've got no clue if she goes for the long walk or the Relkeel. No idea. The stayers bets, that's fine. Yeah, the point at 20s for the stayers, that stands. So yeah, I am sorry about that. I really am. I'll try and do better. Okay. I'd fancy for the long walk. I would. Quite strongly, I think, but I'd rather take 5-2 knowing she's a runner than 4-1. It being maybe a 50-50 thing, like, you know. So yeah, I am sorry. Okay, forgive me. Right then, yeah, and on top of that, we didn't have the best weekend either, did we? But it started off all right. So I've just took a few races, probably a few less than normal even. I didn't think they were all that much this weekend in terms of Cheltenham sort of clues, but yes, I've been a little bit more selective even than normal. As I said, we started off well anyway on the Friday. 3 mile grade 2 novice chase, stay away Faye, sort of well backed into 8-11, beat Giovinco by a length and a half. Stay away Faye led. After the second, Giovinco sat second, just shading the changing man. Slow jump at the 13th from Giovinco allowed changing man, who put in a good leap there, to take a clear second. But at the 17th, the first of the railway fences, a changing man came down. After that, he kind of interfered with both Stay Away Faye and Giovinco, but I'd say it were about to the same sort of degree, so I don't think one were particularly inconvenienced over the other there. Over the last two, Giovinco joined Stay Away Faye, seemingly travelling the better, but Stay Away Faye stayed on strongly on the run-in to win by a length and a half. This were good from Stay Away Faye. He's a rock solid Browns contender. We've got a couple of points at 16s. That's nice to have in the bank there. He's into generally 5-1 now. Yeah, he won the Bartlett last year. He's got to be kind of a rock solid contender. I'm not quite sure if he'll start favourite on the day yet. I suspect it'll be one of the Irish novices. But yeah, this were good. And he's kind of one of them horses on the day you'd like to have him on your side, like, you know. I'd say the softer the ground, the better. And yeah, he goes there with his chance, a good chance. Giovinco ran well, up in class here. He does look useful. I'm not sure for Cheltenham, but I'd say if they decided to skip Cheltenham and go to Aintree, you kind of really fancy him there. So we'll see how they play that. So a good start from us there, but it kind of went downhill from there, didn't it? We'll go to Saturday Sandown, 12:40 Brinkley. Did have a little bit on him. He went from 8s to 6s and he finished last. So that's enough said about that one. The Fighting Fifth, as we thought, Constitutional did skip this. In his absence, Not So Sleep, he took it. Bit of a surprise, I suppose, there. I thought You Wear It Well were disappointing here. And to a degree, Love Envoy as well. You'd say Love Envoy were maybe just about okay, considering it were first run and she looked rusty. She'll come on a lot for this. But you won't be in love with her, unlike, you know, but you'd sort of give her another chance, I'd say, I suppose. Alright then, 2 mile grade 1 Tingle Creek. John Bond beat Edward Stone, best part of 3 lengths here. Adex to Zobo took them along. John Bond sat second. A good jump at the 4th, saw John Bond move up sides. And another one at the 5th, where Hadex to Zobo was a little slow, saw John Bond go on. Adex to Zobo soon rejoined John Bond, and you could see Nico was just sort of hanging on to John Bond here, just trying to save a bit, sort of taking him back a little. But between the last two, John Bond, he moved up smoothly into the lead and he stayed on nicely on the running. This were good from John Bond. On ground he wouldn't have been in love with. He's 12 from 14 under rules. His only defeats have been to Constitutional and El Fabiolo at Cheltenham. He's a top class horse, he is. 12 wins and 2 seconds at the festival. I'd say he's looking just a touch more professional this season as well. I think 7 rising 8, he's at the peak of his powers now, I'd say. Yeah, I think he looks a shade better than last year. Class horse, he is, isn't he? Top class horse. Alright then, so we'll go to Navan. Yeah, this is where it kind of went wrong for us a bit. Butcholo in the first, 7-2 into 5-2. I thought he was disappointing, to be honest. He was beat 9 length here by Jigaro, who led all the way, travelled everywhere, and I thought he always looked the winner. He's improved a lot from his last run. I kept looking at his form and I just thought he underpriced, but maybe he underpriced for a reason, I suppose. Yeah, he improved a lot from that run. He weren't stopping here, and I just wonder if possibly, maybe, just maybe, he might develop into Martin Pipe horse. Just maybe. And here we are. Grade 2, Navan Novice Hurdle. A new signing. We only had him in we've only had him on books a week, haven't we? And he's let us down here a bit. Stellar story. Slade Steele, he beat Lecky Watson half a length here with Stella Story a further 4.5 lengths back in third. Stella Story jumped out, Better Days Ahead tracked him in second, Ballystone sat third, Slade Steele fourth, and Lecky Watson sat last. Stella Story took them along at a slow sort of pace. 5 to go, Slade Steele moved into share a third with Ballystone, and Lecky Watson was tracking him through all the time. 2 out, Stella Story were untidy, came off the bridle. Better Days Ahead pressed hard and took the lead. Rachel angled out Slade Steele here, still shadowed by Lecky Watson, and Slade Steele jumped to the front at the last, where Better Days Ahead made a mistake and dropped to fourth. Slade Steele stayed on well to win by a cosy half a length from Lecky Watson. Right, I thought Slade Steele were really impressive here. He travelled beautifully the whole way, and he kind of stood out, I thought, as the class act here. He should be better on better ground, and he goes firmly onto the Ballymore shortlist. Yeah, he was good here. He's a nice horse. We knew he was a nice horse. He's a nice horse. Stella Story. I thought he were disappointing. Where the way I saw this were Gordon's Bartlett horse against Henry's Ballymore horse, and I thought in the conditions the staying power he's got would swing things his way. Now if he'd have come clear with Slade Steele and just got done by Slade Steele, I'd have been happy enough with that. But I think what disappointed me really were where he finished in respect to the rest of the field here. There's no doubting, I don't think, this Firefox Il Atlantique form line. That's what kind of put us on to him. But in hindsight, I guess them two have kind of strengthened and matured tremendously through the summer. And they're kind of fantastic, imposing looking specimens now. The young horses, and they don't all improve the same, do they? Saying that, it were yielding when he beat Il Atlantique, and just maybe up to 3 mile on better ground you could see a different horse. But you could kind of also say the same for Lecky Watson and Better Days Ahead here. And just for now, we'll throw them all on a very, very long shortlist for this Albert Bartlett. Another few horses added the name to that list over the last week. I'd say would be Chapeau de Soleil, Deafening Silence, and Search for Glory. For now, we're going to bin him. He's in the recycle bin and we'll start afresh. So he's in the bin there with Ballyburn and a couple others. So that's 11 points in our bin now. But yeah, we'll start with a blank canvas again with that race. It's a race to leave for now, this Albert Bartlett. I must have 10 plus horses already on this long short list. So yeah, that's that really. Yeah, I think we'll leave that race for a while. Right, I'll give this race a mention. The 2.5 mile beginners. It were 2.5, weren't it? I wrote down 2 here. No, it were 2.5, wasn't it? It were 2.5 beginners. I think it were. Indiana Dream, it were. Indiana Dream beat St Felician 13 lengths. The St Felician shared it early with Santonito. Indiana Dream settled second last. By the fourth, Indiana Dream had moved up into a share of third, but made a kind of shocking mistake there. But didn't seem to lose any ground as a result. I thought St Felician were jumping really fast and slick here, but did tend to go a little left. Indiana Dream kind of drifted back a few places, but by 3 out was back up to third, and that's where Hidden Valley Lake departed. Or maybe didn't look a natural. 2 out, Indiana Dream took it up, and St Felician quickly started to tire. At the last, Indiana Dream were 4 lengths clear and just kind of careered away on the running for an impressive win. Indiana Dream is now unbeaten in a French bumper, novice hurdle and this beginner's chase. He looked impressive here, and he does look to have some engine. I would say, however, the race did completely fall apart here. The St Felician looked like a non-stayer to me at this trip, and I just won't get carried away at the minute. I mean, given his profile, he's got to stay sound. And yeah, just the way this race fell apart, I just want to see him do it again in a sort of stronger race. But granted, he did look to have some engine there. St Felician, yeah, as I kind of touched on there, he looked a non-stayer to me. I did sort of mention, didn't we, that we thought they might be going the handicap route with this horse. I thought he jumped a lot better here than his debut. I was quite impressed with his quick jumping, albeit a bit left. 2 mile handicaps, Grand Annual, plot job, maybe. Like I mentioned, he's not an horse I've never really been in love with. But yeah, I just wonder if Gordon's got the Grand Annual on his radar with this horse. The bumper that closed the card gave us a little respite. If you were quick, you had to be quick with the prices, but one firm did price my trump card up at even money. Then they cut him to 8 to 11. I had a little bit on at 8 to 11, just a little bit. Could have saved these accounts, like. And yeah, he finished 100 to 30 on. He stayed undeterminedly for a 9 length win. He does look very Firefoxy to me, how he's sort of same connections, gone over hurdles, come back to bumpers, and I thought maybe they'd keep him to bumpers for the rest of the season and do the Firefox thing. But Gordon did say he goes over hurdles now. I just wonder if that were in the aftermath of Stellar Story getting done, which I think was his Bartlett horse. And I wonder if he's might be fast tracking this horse to the Albert Bartlett now. You know. Sunday. Just a couple of races here, so I've been selective. Grade 2 Mares Novice Chase. A Moneymaker were fairly confident bet for me here, but kind of appeared to just he just threw the race away, didn't she, jumping sort of left. I mean, at the 5th she lost a load of ground, went down by just over 3 lengths in the end to the outside of the field, silent approach. Yeah, I think going left definitely cost her this. Not quite sure about her. Maybe she's best first time out. She's looked very good first time out the last 2 years. I wouldn't be in a rush to back her again anyway. Thought Zenta and Autorier ran okay here, and they could be different propositions next time. First run of the season, you know, yeah, I'd forgive them that, and we'll see next time. I think they'll be a lot better. And we'll finish our Garda weekend review on a positive note here. El Fabiolo in the Grade 2 2-mile Hilly Way chase beat Phil Dorr nearly 5 lengths here. El Fabiolo, he was quick at the first. Moscada led. El Fabiolo got a bit close to the second. He was in 3rd place here. He was very keen, quite keen. He was quick at the 3rd. He was fast 6 out, fast 5 out. 4 out, he moved alongside Moscada, who tried to go with him for a while. 2 out, he was brilliant. Phil Dorr had moved up back to try and challenge at this point, but yeah, 2 out, I thought he was brilliant. They dropped Moscada here. Phil Dorr tried to challenge, but El Fabio just had too many gears for him. Just kind of eased clear on the run-in. And won nicely. I thought he looked fat here. I think he'll improve hugely for this run. He's exciting. He's so exciting, isn't he? I think we've yet to see the best of this horse, and I think maybe next time out we'll see something close. He could be something next time out. Yeah. Willie mentioned the Clarence House after this, going the same sort of Enigmine route. I thought Nicky were best pleased to hear that. Nicky mentioned Clarence House or Game Spirit, and it might be that Game Spirit. I don't know, because I mean, when Enigmine and Shishkin won the battle, didn't he? But he kind of lost the war there, and for me, he's never been quite the same horse since that. I wouldn't have thought Nicky's in a rush to take on this lad here. We'll see. He's a monster. He is a monster. Right then, performance of the week. I'll give that to Slade Steele. I thought he showed a touch of class here, and he announced himself a definite Ballymore contender. Second in, El Fabiolo. Yeah, the monster's back. He was fast here with his jumping. I'd say his jumping's getting better. I know he got in close to the last, didn't he? But he'll improve a ton for this. He will. I think the only danger to El Fabiolo at Cheltenham is El Fabiolo. That's how I see it. It is as good as John Bonnin, and he is John Bonnin's top class. But this fella's just something else. Yeah, I think it's just the fences. He's just got to, not make any bad mistakes. And he were fast here and low at some. So when I'm watching him, my heart's always in my mouth a little bit with this fella. Up to now, he's always managed to find a leg when he's got one wrong. He's such a strong horse, isn't he? But yeah, he's not an easy watch for me anyway. But yeah, he's some horse. He is. Third, I'd actually get to John Bon. I did initially get to Stay Away Faye, but I thought Stay Away Faye, although cracking jumper, putting some fantastic leaps, just hung in the air for a little longer than you'd like. And for that reason, I think we'll get to John Bon. Yeah, he was good here. I thought he jumped great at a ground that's not the easiest to jump out of, and on ground he didn't like. Yeah, I thought he looked good. I did. He just won a Tingle Creek there, and he's, you know. Right then. I'll just get tomorrow at Punchestown a quick mention. Now, I haven't really looked into these races in any depth, so I'm in no way giving any solid selections here, but just to flick through the card. 12 o'clock, the 2 mile novice chase, we see Spillane's Tower there. Now, I think he should be winning this, but he's running for handicaps, and as a result, I'm going to leave him. I'm not saying he's not going to win, but he's running for an handicap mark, and personally, I'd feel better if I left him and he won than if I backed him and he lost. Because I'd be really kicking myself if I backed him and he lost. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see him. The 12:30, the 3 mile beginners. Let's Go Champs in this. Kim Euros. Really, this should be between Cool Survivor and Embassy Gardens. I haven't looked into it in too much detail, as I said, but I'd imagine Cool Survivor might take the beating here with Race Fitness on his side. 1 o'clock, 2.5 mile maiden hurdle. This is an interesting race. This will be one to look back on. We've got Bo walking here. Needs this run for handicaps. So I'd say this will probably come down to Blizzard of Oz, Willie's. Killaney King of Henry's is off that point-to-point list. He's highly regarded. And Gordon's got Rainbow Trail in here. I think this might come down to Willie's horse and Henry's horse, Blizzard of Oz and Killaney King. If I were to put one up, I'd maybe chance this Killaney King. He's well regarded. But, you know. 2 o'clock, the Mare's Novice, 2.5 mile listed. Bantown Girls in this. And I were really impressed with her last time behind Brighter Days Ahead. I thought, you know, she's 132, I think. I was thinking if she goes in a handicap of 132, I'd be liking her chances. But she comes here for this listed contest. I was impressed how she came clear of the field with Brighter Days Ahead, and she were kind of one I'd sort of earmark to back next time. So I'd be interested in her. She's coming up against Mel Munro here though, and her form looks good. She split Croke Park and Search for Glory. That looks strong form. It does. She could be a tough nut to crack. Willie's got one in here, kind of unexposed. I think this will come down to Bantown Girl and Mel Munro myself. Mel Munro probably deserves to be favourite here, I'd say. But yeah, I'd make it between those two. The 2:30 race, this should be a kind of penalty kick almost, I'd say, for Gordon's Tactical Affair. Willie brings a couple off a long absence here. Elixir Daney. I didn't know that horse was still around. This horse has been out for years. Yeah, he looks to have some ability. He'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see him. But really, yeah, Tactical Affair should be taking that. And yeah, so just a little spin through a few of the races tomorrow there. But right, see, we got through that fairly quick-ish for me. It clues in the title. We do ramble, don't we? I know. Who am I here? Just get my notes in order here. Bear with me a sec. Lost one. Ah, there we go. Right then. Yeah, I thought we'd have a little ramble. We'd finish with a little ramble. Right. And really, when I started this, the focus of this channel is the Cheltenham and the ante-post. So I thought we'd go back to roots here. I still, you know, we'll still do the weekly reviews and the previews for the weekend. Always kind of put a Cheltenham slant on it. And to be fair, we've done all right. We've had a few winning naps, haven't we? A few good weekends. Not so good this weekend, but such as it is. But yeah, I thought we'd go back to roots a little bit and have a chat about Cheltenham. And mainly something I haven't talked about too much is the multis. So I thought I'll touch on that a little bit today. It won't be for everyone, I suppose, ante-post multis. I think some people probably do them too much and some people probably won't go near them. But I always have good fun doing these. Yeah. So I kind of leave it to yourselves to decide, really, because I'm no guru with ante-post multis for Cheltenham. The best I've had is really a small treble up, and that were last year. And that was El Fabiolo, Impera Pass and Galloping de Champs. Yeah, I'd got trebles and a fourfold with Jerry Colombe, and that cost me quite a bit. So we got the little treble up there. I tend to, just have a little ramble. I tend to do them like that, you know. If I've got like 3 horses, I'll do a Trixie and a treble. Say if I've got 4, I'll do the trebles and a fourfold. If I've got 5, I'll do the fourfolds and a fivefold. I suppose the bet I've had a bit of success with is doubles, which makes sense, doesn't it? Because you've got less horses there, which makes it a little bit easier. So like I say, I'm no guru, I'm learning myself with this. This year, one thing I've tried to do is have more doubles. We're always learning, aren't we? Yeah, I mean, they are very hard. I mean, they're very hard to get up, aren't they? They're hard enough on the day, to be honest. You know, a week of Cheltenham, you try and put 4 or 5 winners together, it's not easy, you know. To be honest, I get, you know, sometimes I'm sat there, I'm always paper and pen me. I'm fucking prehistoric, like, you know. And I'll be sat there maybe in the morning at Cheltenham. I've got my sheets out with all my bets on and my horses, and I'll just ask the wife there, she's called Leah, by the way, I'll just say, just pick us 3 of them. You know, I might have 2 or 3 selections for each race. I'll just say, just pick 3 out, because It's so hard, isn't it? It's not. It's like you might get 3 winners one day, but mostly it won't be the 3 that you fancy the most, like, you know. So yeah, I'll get Leah to pick a couple of tricks out for Cheltenham as well, really, as we're going along. But that's how hard it is to do this. But it is so much fun. I know them numbers look pretty, but because it's so hard, personally, how I do it, I do try and keep, certainly still now this time here, try and keep 80-20, you know, singles to multis. And it is hard because you like putting these multis on. I think I'm still sort of 75-25. I'm just sort of clinging on there. I do have to stop myself sometimes. Yeah. This year we kind of started with. I started full year ago, before Cheltenham, more or less. Certainly after Punchestown, started with Vassar Vega, Constitutional, El Fabiolo, Impera Pass and Gaelic Warrior. We fell foul there with the Willie Mullins bingo. They were my sort of fab 5. Impera Pass we had for Turners, and Gaelic Warrior we had for the Stayers Hurdle. In hindsight, I wonder if maybe it's done us a favour there with Gaelic Warrior, because there's always that suspicion, isn't there, about Cheltenham. I like to be against him, I think, at Cheltenham. I feel more comfortable in that position. I do think he'd had a better chance on the hurdles track, but yeah, I'm quite happy to be against him for Cheltenham. Yeah, I might have mentioned this ages ago that, you know, I sort of picked 4 or 5. A few years back, the 5 I picked, I got Shishkin for the Arkle, I think 7-2-ish, around that price. Monkfish for the RSA, the Browns, at 12-1. Chacun Pour Soi for the Champion Chase, 9-2. I think he were 9-2, might have been 11-2, not sure. Turners, we had Envoy Allen at 5s. We had Santini at 12s for the Gold Cup. He was like the dodgy one, really, I suppose. And wow, I got excited that year, you know, we were getting close to Cheltenham. And I say it's just a game, and it's a bit of fun. Wow, I used to lie in bed at night thinking, this is it, this could be it, like, you know, thinking what could go wrong here. Because the first 4 there, they all went to Cheltenham at odds on. It was some achievement, I thought, at the time, just to get them all there. 4 of them odds on. But then you see how hard it is, because you get the hard bit right, and then it still doesn't happen. Shishkin won, Monkfish won at 1-4, I think. Chacun Pour Soi didn't get up the hill. Looked all over the winner, didn't he? Didn't get up the hill. Envoy Allen, yeah, changed stables, didn't he? A couple of weeks before, and that's what did him, I think, you know. Just them 4 would have been pretty awesome, but so you couldn't foresaw what was going to happen with Envoy Allen. That was just unfortunate. Chacun Pour Soi, though, to be fair, he looked awesome, didn't he? I love the horse. He was like a Rolls Royce, but he never really hit the line that hard. So in hindsight, maybe that clue were there. You know, maybe that, you know, it were. So really, what you want horses that ideally have got festival form already, and if they haven't, the horses that you see do hit the line hard, and you can see them like coming up that hill well. Right, so how it's kind of where I'm at the minute with this. I mean, Originally, I had Constitution Hill in quite a few multis when he were like odds against, but the price is now he's kind of done with. But I did have him in like a double with El Fabiolo and a double with Facile Vega and a few other bets there. But now really where I am with this is I've got 5 horses now, and I've kind of targeted the races as much as anything, because, you know, like I haven't put one novice hurdler in a multiple bet yet, not one, because I think the novice hurdlers are the hardest horses to nail to a race, and we might not have seen, you might not have even heard of the Supreme winner or the Ballymore winner yet. I've got no horse from the Turners, no horse from the RSA yet, the Browns, in any multiples either. The five I really like at the moment are Facile Vega for the Arkle, a special one. El Fabiolo for the Champion Chase. Brighter Days Ahead for the Mares Novice Hurdle. Jerry Colombe for the Gold Cup. And Alka de Tabet for Mares Chase. I'd say if those 5 win, we'll be getting somewhere close to paying mortgage off anyway. We'll have smashed it. So I'll take these individually a little bit. Right, Facile Vega. The Arkle. The Arkle's always a brilliant race to target because it's often you can get an odds-on favourite. It can be uncompetitive. It's mainly just Willie Mullins v Nicky Henderson. So it's a fantastic race to target. Favourites have a good record in it. Yeah, it is. It's just a good race. Now, I took a chance on Facile Vega here in that the Turners, there's been a lot of talk about the Turners. It's gone a little bit quieter now, but this still, I suppose, the smallest possibility. But I did take a chance that I suppose Facile Vega was his Arkle horse. But the rewards are getting the Arkle horse in the book early at a decent price are good, like, you know. So I was happy to take that chance. So yeah, it's like the racers we're targeting here as much as anything. Well, that comes into it anyway a lot. Say, he doesn't need too much to go right for him now to be getting there at odds on. If he turns up at Christmas and wins well, and Marine National doesn't run or disappoints a little, don't look great, he's going to be odds on. I mean, that's not certain to happen. Marine National could come out and look awesome, like, you know, I know, but he don't need much to go his way now to be, you're looking at an odds on shot. The horse himself, the special one, what I love about him this year, I mean, he's got the track form, hasn't he? He's you know, he's come first and second at the festivals. But what I love about him this year is he has settled for a fence, and that is massive for me. Last year he was just too keen all the way through his races, but he's settled now, which means he's got all that petrol and power for after the last, whereas last year he didn't. You know, his jumping could be better from his chase debut. That is the one criticism you'd have. So we'll see. He's like, you know, you could have said the same El Fabiolo last year. So you'd like to see his jumping quicken up a little. I do think he'll come on massively for that last run though as well. It's some horse to look at. So we've got a good race to target there. Right, El Fabiolo. Now he's just getting to that stage now. He's just tipping over to odds on into where I won't really be putting him in bets so much anymore. I think the kind of work's done with him. But if you wanted to throw him in one at the moment, 10 to 11, yeah, just about okay, like, you know. He's he's a monster, isn't he? He's improving. He'll come on a ton for that race. Again, you know he's going for this race. He's going for no other race, which is key to these bets. It's important. His jumping's getting better. Fences are the only danger, I think, to this fella, honestly. Yeah, he's a monster. He is, and he's improving still. He's improving. Brighter days ahead. Mare's Novice Hurdle. Again, she's got no other race she could go for, really. This is 100% going to be a target. It's a big thing. Yeah. She's learning as she goes along. She's improving all the time. It's just, is she going to be professional enough by the time they get to Cheltenham? I think she will be. I think she's kind of made for the race. Jumping might not have been the best, but she's getting better with that. She'll be suited to the left-handed track. There's not much jumping in the last mile on that hurdles track, the Thursday and the Friday. And she's all over a stayer. Because of that, it does turn into a bit of a staying contest. She'll eat that hill. She'll love it. I really like her. I do. And that's the race she's going for. Then we've got Jerry Colombe for the Gold Cup. He's unbeaten bar that much in the RSA, where, you know, he's quite a big unit, as I said before. I just don't think, I think he'd become unbalanced on that sort of tight, twisty track. This course will suit him much better. He's got a fantastic attitude. He's kind of got a will to win, you know. He just finds a way to win. Even going back, you know, to when he was novice hurdler and he ended up skipping Cheltenham because I think he jarred himself up a little bit. He weren't overly impressive that day, but he still found a way to win that day, even though, you know, he may have been hurting a little. He's just got that about him. 3 mile, 2.5 up that hill, he's just made for him. He's just, to me, he's just made for a Gold Cup. I do like fast or slow as well, and I have put him in a couple of bets as well. You know, don't hurt to have 2 bullets in that race, does it? Like, you know, if you get that far, if you've got the other ones up till then, you'd be glad for that. But I'm mainly Jerry, but I have, yeah, I've got fast or slow in a couple as well now. And then last of all, we got Alcada Tablet at them 5. I just love this horse, you know, I love this horse. I think she's got that toughness you need for after the last in that race. I think you need quite a tough mare for that. It is a test, that after the last on that track. But she's got a nice cruising speed. She's a strong stayer. And to be honest, I think she's just the best mare there is. You know, jumping, I think, you know, if they all ran tomorrow, I think she'd have the lot of them. I do. I think she's that good. So, yeah. I mean, so, you know, those 5, I've had a lot of kind of doubles, trixies, you know, I've had 5 together, 4-folds. They're the kind of ones I've sort of focused mainly on. And like I say, I've tried to do more doubles this year as well. But yeah, if we hit kind of 3 out of them 5, we're just laughing, like, you know, we'll have smashed it, and 2 would be okay. 2 would be okay as well, I think. We'd like the 5 there, wouldn't we? Yeah, that'd be good. So that's kind of where we are that at the minute, where I am anyway with my sort of multis. So you might really not like one of them or 2 of them horses, or you might not like any of them, I don't know, but that's where I am anyway with my multis. So I just thought You know, like I say, I'm not a guru or anything like that, but that's, you know, I'm learning as I'm going with this, with the multis, and that's where I'm with it this year, you know. Where we are at the minute, I mean, closer to time, any time you can lose a horse injury, can't you? Or, you know, anything could happen, can't it? You know. But that's where I'm closest to time. We'll probably have another sort of crack at 5 or so. Maybe one of these will fall away or something, you know. But yeah, for now, that's where I'm with. Yeah. So. It's just a game, isn't it? It's the best game it is. It's just a game. Just enjoy it. Right. That's it then for today. Probably be alright for Friday, I think, again. Over Christmas, I don't really know yet. We'll just kind of wing it. I'll know more next week, maybe. I've got like 4 kids and a big dog and a wife, so it's a lot of family time for me over Christmas. We'll just see how we go. But yeah, all the best then. And I'll thanks for watching. I do appreciate your time, and I'll see you again most probably Friday. Okay, bye.